Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. So for this video, of course, I'm be making a review for a movie which I've often do on this channel anyway. At the very least, a good chunk of the time. Anyway, so let's just get straight down to business, shall we? And yes, of course, I appreciate anyone for watching ahead of time. Oh, definitely. So anyway, getting to the point here is that I'll be reviewing this movie. So I just thought it's something I figured I would talk about. I already saw like one trailer, and that's it. Really, and barely at that, I guess, because I just often don't watch trailers that often. Really, I just randomly pick something, and that's what I basically did. I just randomly picked something. I went to the movie theater, and I just randomly picked. That was it. I just randomly picked, and I just thought I might as well just do this. Of course. Yeah, like I said, I just went to the movie theater earlier today and just went over there. I had no particular movie in mind really at all, and okay, they seemed interesting. So I just I don't know, I didn't see this on premiere day, which I often done before, not always, but still. All right. Anywho, of course, as usual, let's just talk about the story, shall we? And just hop right into it. Anywho, so okay. What you get to see is that, well, you might be thinking about that might be like the typical thing. Okay, there's this couple. They're going to this, I guess you can say, this vacational type resort type place with this one man, and this one man pretty much is using this lake place. This, I guess, to be more exact, the land. I guess you can say, to be more precise here, because it was like a lot of land. It was like a forest and whatnot, of course. But of course, there's one man who pretty much is using this place as a vacation home, and he does allow these other couples. There's two other couples and with one additional woman, of course. And yeah, what's going on here is that yeah, the couple we see first in the film, yeah, they're a particular couple. Let's just put it that way, right? Let's just leave it at that. So of course, everything seems to be a alright. Of course, everything seems to be hunky dory, of course, or whatnot. So, if anything, this was supposed to be this fun, crazy, wild, enjoyable, adventurous. We can get away with friends at this remote cabin. Let's just put it this way, right? This whole thing that's supposed to be enjoyable, it just turns into chaos. And yeah, and it just revealed one of the guests is not what they seem. Like, who is this? Who's doing what exactly? And why? And is that the only thing that's going on? Is that what it is? What is going on, really? But okay, so there's that. And, like, who is this exactly? Somebody's up to something. Somebody's not, or like, who is this? And whatnot. It's like one of those kinds of movies where you just kind of scratches your head a little bit. Okay, and this also has something to do with advanced technology, how artificial intelligence is getting is improving over the years. And yeah, it kind of goes into that how it's not may not be that far fetched that somebody make a mistake and just wants to use a certain thing. Let's just say something gets hijacked. It goes against that's against protocol because you can't just, let's say, hijack let's say a cell phone or a computer and just manipulate it into your own well-being and make it go against what the company had originally intended for. Let's put it that way. It's kind of machinery, of course, whatever that machinery will be. But I'll just leave it at that, okay, folks? That's basically what this is. So this kind of came off like one of those psychological thrillers with a tad of sci-fi and horror attached to it. At least that's the vibe I got from it, of course, and whatnot. So it kind of feels like, okay, there's a bit of lovey-dovey stuff going on thrown into the mix, of course. And yeah, it's one of those types of movies where the less you know about it, probably the better, I guess. And well, I mean, okay, why the premise itself isn't exactly nothing new, not really. But it's the execution, is what I'm saying. It's the execution that makes it stand out compared to all the movies similar to this. And of course, with these types of movies, of course, it's going to involve a group of people. Of course, they're in a remote place. Of course, and they don't have like super easy access to like a bunch of other people. Of course, they're not in a city. Of course, and yada yada. If this sounds somewhat familiar, that's because it is. But like I said, it's the execution. It's the execution that makes it stand out a bit more than typical, of course. And if anything, I thought it was well structured. The script itself is pretty solid enough. It then takes its time to explore the crises of a current, how do I put this, interpersonal relationships and how you can cope with certain things, of course. And let's just put it this way as well. I'm not going to get too specific here, but give you some kind of idea here. Um, and then, yes, there are a certain desire of many men who are willing to go out the way to obtain this some kind of woman that would be submissive, of course, and just reduce herself to be nothing more than a partner to a mere thing. Just their thing to be controlled. Let's just put it that way. What do I mean? You have to check out the movie yourself. You know, I'm being incredibly vague here when you think about it. It's definitely well acted, of course, folks. So the movie knows what it was trying to do, and it just goes for it. And yes, I know there's something in the lines of how a lot of men this day and age, especially with modern era of technology and whatnot. Of course, one of the most common complaints I hear when it comes to again to the men. This happens to women too, of course. Obviously, I'm not saying it never happened with them because it clearly does. How a lot of women, I guess men, I guess in particular, where they get really lonely, can't find the right partner, blah 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 blah. Yes, and yeah, this kind of thing can make people bitter because of that. Of course, I mean, this in itself has nothing to do with gender. You can go either way, of course, obviously. But at the end of the day, but it is, I guess, when it comes to talking about this kind of thing, a lot of people seem to believe that this is a more common thing with, of course, men. And I guess in this case, there's certain guys out there who just literally go out the way, like we're saying, to find that one submissive female to their liking and just be nothing more than that. Let's just put it that way. I'm not going to go too specific here, but I'm trying to give you the rough general idea here, I guess, in other words. And this goes also, it doesn't matter with your sexuality, of course, but there is a few hints of the LGBT plus community. Of course, if someone does something questionable, or something good or bad, or something in between, this in itself has nothing to do with your sexual orientation, okay? It doesn't matter if you're straight or gay, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if someone's going to do something questionable, or if someone's going to do some good, or something in between, your sexual orientation is completely irrelevant, of course. Because at the end of the day, everybody wants to have some kind of romance, of course. Do some people take it too far? Yes, yes, they would. Do some people do certain things that would just make everything worse? Sure, that does happen, but yada yada blah blah blah, so on and so forth. None of that has nothing to do with your sexual orientation. You can be straight or whatever else. None of that matters. Because things can be crazy regardless. So don't be taking. I know some people out there are going to be taking this like as an example of getting mad because of representation or whatnot. I'll just leave it at that. I know there's going to be people out there that's going to look way too much into something that's not there. But ultimately, I thought this was a surprising decent movie because as I said way earlier, I just picked at random. I had no real order for this at all. I just randomly picked. That's it. I just randomly picked. That's it. That's it. I just randomly picked. Itty, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by its toe, whatever. Yeah. So there's that. I mean, also, don't be coming to this movie expecting a gore fest type of movie either, because that's not what this is. I mean, there was some blood in there, sure, but not like a huge amount, really. So it doesn't go overboard with that either, folks. I'm just saying. Anyway, I'll give this, I don't know, overall rating of a 7.0 out of 10. It's a 7.0 out of 10 from me. So, of course, as always, thanks for watching, and take care. Until next time, see ya. Oh, yeah. Later.